Good afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Welcome to part 2 of sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes and all kinds of potatoes. If it's potatoes, we're talking about it today. We talked in an earlier segment about potatoes and the goodness for you, whether you like sweet potatoes or you like russet potatoes or whatever. And I'm just telling you, white potatoes get kind of a bad rap sometimes. They're good for you. You just have to be careful what you load into them. You can find us a lot of different ways. You can find us on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. Another way you can find us is with the biggest radio station in South Carolina, WZLA. You can find them right here in Abbeville, hometown there. And again, you can find us on also channel 182 on Charter Communications. It's close to Huntsville, kind of Huntsville, Guntersville area. So you can find us that way. Continue sending email. It makes my day. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. Let's get into more about potatoes. Let's dig just a little. I know it's kind of bad, but let's dig a little bit more into potatoes. I want to show you another video, and this is us out in the garden again, Phil and me, and we love our time together out in the garden, but we've learned a lot this year. Okay, guys, now we are going to sprout some sweet potatoes, and we'll talk about the medicinal properties of sweet potatoes and how sweet potatoes can help you, but not only you, but your pets as well. It's really good for their digestive system. If you have an aging dog, you really want to feed them sweet potatoes, and this is the way to do it. And I want to just show you the sprouting process. I like to use water. Find a jar. I like to use these old mayonnaise jars my grandmother used to have. And so what you'll do is fill the jar with some water, which is what I've done right here. But I wanted to show you another one that had already started sprouting. And it's real important now when you do this, and you can see the jar and you can see some of the sprouting has already happened. So what you want to do is put the potato kind of halfway where it receives about half of the amount of water. Okay, so let's show you real quick how we've done it. So far, I've got 16 jars. I'm going to wind up with 17 jars. Now, one important thing about sweet potatoes is if the sweet potato feels kind of soft, if it's anything like that, that's mushy. All that's going to do is rot. It's not going to be a good sweet potato to sprout. So I'm going to put that into the compost pile. However, I did rescue some of that sweet potato so you can see how hard that is right here. Now you need to give it some time to heal and kind of scab over before you start putting it in the water. But look what happened after only a day. So this is pretty neat. See, you've got the sprouts already coming through. We are in Abbeville, South Carolina. You can buy sprouts, but I prefer my own because these came out of the garden previously, and I know no pesticides have been used on these potatoes in any way. You can buy from the grocery store and you can sprout. Some people, you say you can't do that, but you can. Now I want to show you something else. What you can do, and this saves a little money if you've got some time, if you get a sweet potato, now again, it has to be real hard. See, there are no soft spots on that at all. And so what I'm going to do is cut this one in half. Now it's best again to let it set and let it sprout. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut it. See, that's a good, hard, sweet potato. So let's go ahead and cut him. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go on ahead and put this in the water, but it is the best to let it scab over because you can see that tenderness of the sweet potato in there. It could possibly cause some rot. But since it's going to be probably a couple of weeks before I even put these in the ground, I think we'll be okay. Now, this is the test, okay? So you can't have the sweet potato like falling into the water. It needs to be just about halfway. So you can see right here, I've measured the water, and it's about halfway. But what we're going to do is put some toothpicks. Now, I've got my thumb, so you can see my thumb is setting on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of eyeball it. So I'll go ahead and by the way, the sweet potato needs to be as straight as it can in the water. Okay, there goes another one. So you need 2 sides. Some people do 4. You can do 2 as well. So see, I've turned 1 sweet potato into 2 sweet potato plants. Okay, again, let's go ahead and put a little dowsing in it. See, this one has already started sprouting. That's good news. We like that. So I'm going ahead and just kind of pre-measure. Now this one, I'm going to start right here. I hope you can see me. I have the camera turned around. And then we're going to go ahead and put this in. See, the sweet potato I have just cut has already started hardening. So I think that's why we're going to be okay, because we are almost in mid-May while I'm doing this. And so you can see it's not quite halfway. So what I'm going to do is add just a little bit more water to this one. You'll need to kind of keep an eye on the water too, because, you know, they like to eat. So they like to soak it up, and they like to soak up the sunshine. Now, one thing you'll need to make sure you do when you have a sweet potato, okay, if it doesn't have any eyes on it and it has already started sprouting, you're okay to start sprouting it right here. That is a great spot. So I'll move a couple jars out of the way. My awesome paring knife that I've had probably 30 years. It's a good one. You got some equipment that works. You need to stick with it. So you can see I didn't fill this one quite halfway because it's a pretty big sweet potato. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure. I want about half of that sweet potato to be in the water. Again, all I'm going to do is get a toothpick. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to cut this one in half. I think that would be a good idea. I'll do that a little bit later. So let's just go ahead and show you. See, the sprouts have already started coming out. So what we're going to do is put it into the water with the sprouts. It's just going to save you some time. So all I'm going to do is get a toothpick, put it in one side, get a toothpick, put it in the other side. And what you're doing is you are resisting rot. That's the number one cause people can't grow sweet potatoes or any other kind of potato. Now, this is what we do with sweet potatoes. Now, with the white potatoes, I've got some Yukon Golds that are growing right now. Treat them a little differently. You can go ahead and put them into the ground once you start receiving some sprouts. But what I'm for, and I'll show you another video in just about a week so you can see how fast this thing grows. You want the sprouts going all the way down because you want healthy roots. So that's what we're going to do with sweet potatoes. Okay, and it's going to be a long harvest because these potatoes have to have 6 to 8 hours of full sun. Now I'm going to put these in the raised bed. And so we have a lot of clay, and we also have a lot of sand here in Abbeville, South Carolina. And what I'm going to do, once they start sprouting, and you get all these wonderful, wonderful sprouts that are going, and runners that are going all the way down into that jar, what we're going to do is put them in a raised bed. And then the raised bed, that works great because, again, the soil content we have here, and I amend it, but it's still just not quite the same. But what you can do in a raised bed, you can actually grow any of your plants. They can actually be planted closer together in a bed because in the bed, the soil has already been amended, and I've got like 2 feet of a bed. And so you're going to see in just a few weeks, you'll see how this turns out. The great temperature, the best time basically to plant sweet potatoes would be April through June. I'm almost hitting that mark right there. You need to make sure there is all danger of frost is out of the way. And then another thing you do to make sure is the soil temperature should be at least 65 degrees. That's really warmer would be even better. Again, full sun and mixing compost, by the way, before you start planting, but don't over fertilize it with nitrogen. They don't like that. They're pretty temperamental guys. They really are. The plant slips need to be 12 to 18 inches apart. Because it's a raised bed, I'm going to put mine a little closer. I'm going to do like 8 to 10 inches apart. And again, you can do that in a raised bed because this, again, the soil has been amended and the roots are going to follow down a lot farther than they would if you did it just in ground. So you'll see what I'm talking about. What you want to do, once you start planting the slips, you want to bury the roots and the lower stem. But we're going to get to that in another segment. But right now, I just wanted you to see what they look like in a jar. And I'll be taking some pictures along the way, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And this is the ideal situation right here that's beginning. See, you can see this one's a day old, so he's been sprouting, and this is what you're looking for. That's a good, healthy plant. Okay, that's enough for this segment. We'll be back just a little bit later. Just keep watching me on this journey, and we'll see how the sweet potatoes turn out. I think you're going to. They turn out good. I'm just telling you, from the sweet potatoes and the dehydrated, again, I'm going to let you look at this. Now, I have a contraption, and what I do is I put this top on it, and it takes all of the air out of it. Now, you do this without the lid on it. So you'll go ahead and see, it's sealed. I mean, I can hold it up just like that, and it's not going to come off. But what happens is it takes all the oxygen out, and you can get these little oxygen packets to go in there as well. But it's going to keep the oxygen out. And even though I did not put this in water, which is something that I should have done, even though I didn't do that, I'm still seeing that it's got a really nice color to it. Now, these dehydrated sweet potatoes are good if you have animals or having digestive issues. Just sprinkle some of that in with their dog food, and they'll eat it down. And again, it's going to help them during their digestion. Now, another thing that I like to do is I like to get some of the sweet potatoes and put a little bit of water, maybe about, just enough where the water just kind of covers the sweet potatoes, because what's going to happen is they're going to drink that water you throw in the pan, okay? Maybe just a little bit, an inch above it. I'm going to cook those for about 10 minutes. And I like it. I don't want it to be like mashy or anything like that, but I want them to kind of hold their own just a little bit. And then what I'll do is set them over to the side. And then I'm going to add either some brown sugar, but depending on how much you use, say per cup, the dehydrated is going to turn into 2 cups because it's going to kind of double in size. And you want just a little bit of that water left in there, just a little bit of a residue. I'm going to add either honey, which is what I prefer to do, honey with a little bit of cinnamon, or you can do brown sugar with a little bit of cinnamon and put that in there and just mix it up and cook it for about another 3 minutes or so. And it's going to get kind of thick. And I really like that. It's really good to put on, if you wanted to make like little sweet potato pockets with bread, you can get crescent rolls. I like to use my own pie crust that I have in the freezer, and I'll roll it out and I'll put some of that mixture in there. And then I'll fry it with just a little bit of butter or bake it. It's better if you'll bake it. So if you'll just kind of melt the butter, get one of those little like silicone brushes, and then just kind of paint the butter on it, put it in the oven, and just about 10 minutes or so or less is going to do it. And they are really good and really good for you. Okay, I'm seeing that it's time for me to go into a commercial break, and I'm going to be right back in just a few minutes. Y'all hang in there, okay? Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. You know, finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to.
Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of My Pillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all My Pillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas.
Back. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching. I definitely appreciate that. We're talking about sweet potatoes. This is part 2 of our segment. We had a part 1 where we talked about white potatoes, and I love the yellow Yukon Golds. I mean, they are really, really good potatoes. But again, white potatoes, I think, get a bad rap sometimes and they're really good. They're filling for you. You'll find out that you're not going to eat so much in between meals. If you've got a sweet tooth, check out the sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes are going to really fill that void also. If you're dying for something sweet, put a little bit of honey with it, put a little bit of brown sugar with it. Now, when I say a little bit, I'm talking a little bit, so don't drowse it in there. Let's look at another video. It's a very short one. I think it's probably less than 2 minutes, but you'll see what we put into the garden and what it looks like right now. And then I'll have another video coming up in a few months when we start harvesting sweet potatoes. Okay, sweet potatoes. I can hardly wait for these to happen. Now did let you see the beginning of these. These are sweet potatoes that were left over from last year, and they started growing sprouts. And then with the sprouts, I put them in water. You remember I put some, and I may just tag that video on behind this one so you can remember what I did. Got some toothpicks, and so that they would set up in the water, but about halfway. And so this is what came out of it. So we have the sweet potatoes. It's still a few weeks away from harvest, but I wanted to kind of give you a little heads up on what's happening with these. This video, and then when we have harvest time, you'll be able to see from step 1 all the way through harvest. And again, in a raised bed. Oh, let me also show you the small pumpkins. And they're doing their thing. It'll still be a few weeks out, but I'm really excited about that. Now, this is what the potatoes were in, and that we harvested a few days ago, and so we went on ahead and put some seeds, and so there's the pumpkin. Now these are going to be the small pumpkins, and I'm really excited. Now, I first planted, the first seed was May the 6th. Now, something I want to show you. I don't know if you can see. Let's go ahead. Now, these are markers, and basically, these just came from an old blind. Okay, they're not plastic. They're wooden, and they're really easy to write on. So I used a Sharpie to do that. So you can see small pumpkin, and the date on that was May the 6th of this year. And so we're at June the 22nd, so you can see how much they've grown just in that time. It's fun to plant a seed and just watch it grow. And that's something that you really need to be doing with your kids and your grandkids. They need to have that experience. We'll be back.
And we are back. I wanted to mention a couple of things too. You probably saw in the raised gardens, it looked like some maybe dead pieces of, like leaves and stuff like that. So what I do with my tomatoes, just every couple of weeks or so, there are these little leaders that come on your plants. I'm not talking about the ones that go up. I'm talking about the ones who go down, because they're never going to have a successful tomato on them. And you're not going to see any kind of blooms or anything on them. So what I do is I cut them off, and then they're nitrogen. So what I'll do is I'll throw them out into the garden, and then as soon as they start turning dark, I'll go ahead and take them off and put them in a compost pile. But your plants are getting some free nitrogen when you do that. Yeah, it's green stuff. And then again, if you're doing the lasagna gardening, like I mentioned earlier in another post, you're putting the green and the brown together. So again, you got some great stuff going on there. And I've still got some time. So let me go ahead and talk to you a little bit more about sweet potatoes and why they're so heart healthy for you. Sweet potatoes, as we mentioned earlier, and I wanted to mention another thing, and this is about people think about carrots and stuff like that, when they're thinking about eyesight. Now, I'm not talking that, it's going to completely, you'll never wear glasses again, but I'm just saying sweet potatoes and carrots both have beta carotene in them. Antioxidants, and you're looking at fiber there, and these nutrients help reduce inflammation and support cardiovascular health as well. Now, potatoes still heart healthy. When they're baked, we mentioned that in another segment. You want to bake potatoes. Let me tell you a really quick thing to do. A lot of folks don't like to use the microwave because they say, they're kind of like they're too hard. And I want mine to be just a little bit, mashy like. Okay, if you like that, what you'll do is get your potato, whether it's a sweet potato or white potato, and put it in the on top of the stove. I mean, you can peel it, not peel it, whatever you want to do, whatever your preference is. You want to boil it for about 5 minutes. And I'm talking about like a full boil. Okay, I'm not rolling where it's going on the top, but you know what I mean. Kind of simmer it for about 5 minutes. And then what you want to do is take it out and put it on a paper towel and let it just rest for a couple of minutes. After it rests and it's had its little nap, then what you can do is take it, paper towel and all, and throw it into the microwave for about another 5 minutes or so, depending on your microwave and also depending on how big that potato is. Now, if it's a huge one, it could be longer. And then if you've got the smaller ones, which I like, I don't want a great big huge potato myself. Usually if we have big potatoes, I cut them in half, and then Phil gets one half and I get the other half. And so we'll throw that, a big one, like one that's like so big, we'll go ahead and throw that in the microwave. Start it out with 5 minutes. And then what you'll do is take it out, let it rest for a minute, and then you'll get a fork and stick it in there. Now, if it doesn't stick all the way in, throw her back into the microwave again. But you're going to find out you're going to keep it in the microwave a lot less because you have boiled it first on top of the stove. So it may be ready in 4 to 5 minutes. See, depending, again, if your microwave cooks fast like mine does, I don't have to put mine in near as long. But anyway, I wanted to mention that about baked potatoes. They are super good that way. Cut it in half and put whatever your topping is. Sometimes Phil and I just do meals on potatoes. Yeah. Like if you don't want to eat a whole lot for supper, or maybe you just want a light lunch, you don't have time for something, like over the top. You can get a sweet potato and cook it just like I just told you, on the top of the stove, and then throw it into the microwave and it'll cook all the way through. Split that thing in half, put a little bit of butter. If you put a whole bunch, you're messing it up. So put just a little bit of butter and maybe even some shredded cheese on top of it. We like to put, sometimes I put chicken on everything. Phil likes either sausage on it or maybe some ground beef or ham. He's really into putting ham on his sweet potato. And put just a little bit of sour cream if you like to do that, about a teaspoon or so on there. And then mix it up. And that's a meal. I mean, you don't need anything else. That's your meal. Okay, we've still got time, I think. Yeah, I've got time to talk to you about a couple more things. I had to look at my clock up there. You can roast potatoes, and they're really good. Let me tell you how you roast them. This is like super good. So what you want to do is leave the peel on it. Some people peel it. I like to leave the peel on it. And by the way, the peel is part of the fiber. Don't take that off. So leave it on there as part of the fiber. But now clean it really good. If it's one like mine, it just came out of a garden. It's got dirt all over it. So clean it real good. Have a brush. Now I'm not talking about steel wool brush. I'm just talking about like a good thick brush, and clean it that way, and make sure you get all the sand and all the dirt and everything off of it. So what you want to do is put a little bit of melted butter on it, just all around it, and you can even just put it in butter. And then you want to put it on some aluminum foil. Okay, and if you want to put a little bit of salt, pepper, whatever, you can do that. I like to put a little bit of grated, once I get the butter on it, I want to put a little bit of like onion powder or garlic powder on mine. It kind of gets down into there, and it smells really good when it's cooking. So I'll put that into the oven. I want to roast it for about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, it depends on how big the potato is. You want to do the fork test with it. Stick that in the potato until it goes all the way through, and you've got it done. Okay, take it out, let it set in that tin foil and let it rest. It's going to continue cooking in the tin foil for about another 5 minutes or so. Then you want to take it, go ahead and cut it in half, put some butter on the inside if you'd like to do that, maybe a little bit of maybe some sour cream with it. Another thing is really good is chives that you've grown in your garden. Yeah, that companion gardening that we do. So put some chives in it, just cut them, and make sure you've got some scissors that you only use for, and I've got some that I won't let anybody else touch. And they're scissors that I use only for my herbs when I'm cutting up my herbs. Or if you want to, you can cut it with a knife on your cutting board. But it's just quicker that way. And that way I'm cutting it up and I'm putting those chives into that. There's nothing better than a baked potato with chives in it. I mean, it's so good. Even the potatoes that I do, flake potatoes like this right here, and I make mashed potatoes with it, I still use my chives in it because chives are where it is. That's where it's going. Okay, so that's your roasted potatoes. Boiling potatoes is just really good too. Just make sure that you don't load them with salt and fats because you want to keep it healthy. Now, eye health, we mentioned this earlier in another segment, but this category doesn't even come close. Let's talk about sweet potatoes. So the orange color comes from the beta carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. So those benefits include better night vision, also better eye health, immune support, skin health. I mean, your skin is going to love you for it. One medium sweet potato can provide well over 100% of daily vitamin A needs. It's good for gut health. Both can be beneficial when cooled after you're cooking. Potatoes develop resistant starch. Sweet potatoes provide additional fiber. Now, both feed the beneficial gut bacteria. Growing them in my neck of the woods right here is super easy to do because they mature between 90 and 120 days. Just depends on how much heat you've had, whether you've had a whole lot of rain. Now, harvest after the vines turn yellow and they die back like you saw in the previous video. You want to cure them for 1 to 2 weeks in a cool, dark area. Now, sweet potatoes usually take about 90 to 120 days after the slips are planted. Harvest before the temperatures drop into the 50s on a regular basis. You want to cure those 7 to 10 days at about 80 to 85 degrees if possible for a sweeter flavor and longer storage with them. Really do enjoy coming up with these recipes and things for you guys. Continue sending email, Donna at donnasedge.com, Donna at donnasedge.com. I look forward to hearing from you. You take care, and I'll see you next time around.